What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Italian Stallion, here live for another episode of Rebels with a Cause. It's Wednesday night. It is the day before Thanksgiving. I hope you guys got your appetites ready. It's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow. I hope you're going to get to spend it with your loved ones. I know that I will. I've got 3 Thanksgivings to go to, so the hell with the diet, but let's eat. You know what I mean? But, we got some business to talk about. It is Rebels with a Cause. And as you know, guys, that cause don't stop when the clock hits zero, baby. Unfortunately, we took one last Friday night. Very controversial. Got to give credit where credit's due. Sevier County made the plays they needed to. However, I think Antoine Burdine Jr. was in that end zone, and I don't care what anybody says. And I do have a few things that I want to say about it when we get to there, but I've got to do some housekeeping first. First and foremost, before I do the rant that I want to do, the views and opinions of this program are not affiliated with those of West High School or any other organization. This is solely the RWAC crew. That is the Rebels with a Cause crew. Myself, the Italian Stallion, two-pair Tate, Brian Tate, the stats man coach himself, Mr. Shane O'Mac, Shane McGee. So again, just remember that, what we say tonight. Also, please join the chat box live and please point out when we've inaccurately said something in error, as well as to voice your opinions. We love that chat box. And with Thanksgiving being Thanksgiving, I also want to just thank each and every one of you for the Italian Stallion's little heart. All 75 subscribers. Keep pushing that like and subscribe button. The analytics are out there. If you haven't, if you know someone that wants to know about West football, basketball, all the sports, shout it out there, baby. We got you. We want to get your message out there. We want to get your stats out there. Shout out to the girls flag football team getting their first victory this past week, 32-8 Valley. I like it, girls. Keep it up. So do your thing. But we want to also give some love to our sponsors. Got to give it up to Mr. Alex Thatcher and the Knoxville Coffee Company. That great brew there in the heart of Marble City off of Sutherland Avenue. It's good any time of the day. So go pay a 2003 grad Mr. Alex Thatcher a visit and get you some good coffee. Also want to give a shout out to my gals at the chamber, Miss Kim Castle and Miss Rachel Davis. Beard trims, haircuts, manicures. I had one today. Pedicure. They do a razor blade. They do they do the waxes. Going to be having massages here shortly. So definitely go hit them up. You tell them that Rebels with a Cause sent you $20 off of the services you request for that day, and you also get 2 tasty beverages. So definitely go hit them up there on the Pike, King's Chamber. They definitely give you the royal treatment there. Also want to give a shout out to my guy, Mr. Two-Pair Tape, Big Facts Sports Network. Follow him at the 332 Studios. He's doing some really special things there, and I know he'd appreciate your support just like he does on a daily basis, weekly basis here on Rebels with a Cause. So definitely go hit him up there, Big Fact Sports Network. And also, if you need anything done electrical around your house, this time of year, you got them Christmas lights, you got all that stuff going on. You don't want any problems, especially if you got family coming into town, friends staying with you. You got a problem, hit up my guy, Shane McGee, the coach himself. That's his phone number. He will make sure that you get taken care of, and that way you don't have any issues this holiday season. So definitely go give him a shout if you need some services in that department. With that being said, wherever you are, whether you're watching it live or recorded, I want to wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving again, and thank you for tuning in. But I also want you to give some love, whether you're watching it live or recorded, and wherever you are. Let's welcome my co-hosts, my brothers, as we getting close to that 1-year anniversary of Rebels with a Cause. We're 1 month away from that. Should be really special. And, we're going to have some more guests coming on and definitely going to be getting into the basketball full swing of things. But first and foremost, speaking of basketball, I got to bring on my first co-host. He is known as for immortality, for eternity, the Mr. 2003 West. He is now in his 19th season as the voice of the Runnin' Rebels and the Lady Rebels. And he is the hardest working man. Give him a mic. He's there to entertain. My favorite Seminole, my brother, Mr. Two-Pair Tate, Brian Tate. What is up, baby? How you doing?
Man, what's going on, man? I really am thankful for you and this show, Shane. A lot of people, man. My man Steven Johnson, his family. Definitely thankful for, uh, what I'm saying, Paul Romero,
Oh yeah.
Principal Spees,
Yes.
like Principal Carruthers, uh, Principal Forrester, like the faculty, the principals have just truly done an incredible job at nurturing young men and women to go out in society and succeed in life. And just looking at the assortment of people that were at that game Friday, like it was just it was truly dope to see that many people in the city coming out enjoying themselves
As
and
cold as it was, too. Damn. I
as
mean, they
cold
had
as it was,
space heater. I mean, it was cold even in the press box up there, man. I'm
man,
telling
it
you,
was,
it was
yeah,
rough.
it was
It was.
ridiculously cold,
And you know what the
ridiculously
crazy
cold.
thing is that, and I'm not making excuses. Listen, we got a lot to talk about with that game, and I'm going to bring on Shane real quick so that way we can
Mm,
introduce him properly and everybody can go around and give their thoughts about it. The truth of the matter is that we didn't have any cold weather games to even prepare for that. Usually, you got a game that's in the 50s or a game that's in the 40s. No, we went from 60 degrees week 2 to 36 Friday night. I mean, there
yeah,
was
it
no
was a huge
preparation
drop.
whatsoever. Now, both teams played in it. I get it. But at the same time, you know, them hits hurt a little bit more. The ball is like a rock trying to catch it. And the thing is
Hmm.
things happen, unfortunately. And
Right, right,
I
right.
just felt that there were just things that were just not destined to happen for us that night or whatever. Things went away and I didn't like the feel of the game starting out, but that's just my opinion. But before we get into that,
Hmm.
I want to get our other brother in here, our stats guy, our coach. He's such a good dude. He was out there Friday night too, finally being
He
able
was
to
on the
catch a
field
game. Yeah,
with
he was
me.
on the field with you and you guys were
It's the first
watching it. So
his first game of the year
first
on
game
the
of the year
field
because
with
he
me.
was so busy with the other stuff he was doing. So yeah, absolutely. But anyway, I want to bring him on. So whether again live or recorded, show this man some love. Again, hit him up if you need something electrically done fixed. He is our guy, the coach, Mr. Shane O'Mac. Shane McGee, what is up, baby? How you
What's up,
doing?
bro? What's up? And I just want to say that I'm thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for my kids. I'm thankful for God blessing me every day to be above earth.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm thankful for you guys and my family. And this is like my release once a week. And we really should be talking right now about a date with Oak Ridge and historic Blankenship Field for a chance to defend that title for the third straight time, more than likely against Page High School. Everybody would have wanted to see it. It would have been must-see TV. But I'm going to go, but I'm thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for Coach Lamar Brown, for Coach Eggleston. Coach Graves and me have become friends on Facebook, so I'm thankful for him. All the coaches, and
Hmm.
you mentioned Paul Romero. I mean, he is top class, the best athletic director in not only the city but the state of Tennessee.
He
Man, he's
might be the best athletic director in the state.
let me tell you something, man. He is all over the place. If anything, we should have a camera follow him
Yeah.
in the day in the life of Romero getting a game ready, man. Honestly, because it is that
We need
he's
game day
everywhere, baby.
Romero.
And it goes smoothly
Game
as
day
best as it can.
Romero.
Game day Romero, man, he's everywhere. So
Day
that golf cart
Romero.
is all over the on campus, man. That golf cart.
That
So
would be a
yeah,
good that'd be a good doc.
it'd
That
be
would be a
fun.
good
It
doc.
would be fun. It
That'd be a
really
good
would.
doc.
So yeah, for sure.
We might need to do that.
Yeah,
But
we
no,
need to get
man,
on that. So
it was so cool. Shane and the son, like we're watching the game. I'm filming it sideline,
yeah. Hmm.
and like the commentary on these videos, like just the breakdown and stuff. Have you looked at the video? It's been hard to watch.
It's been hard to watch, man. I'm
It's
gonna
been
tell you
hard
this.
to
I
watch.
slept all
Like
day
they gave.
Saturday. It was
Let me
rough,
say
man.
this:
Yeah, yeah.
those young men, they are a testament to leadership, dedication, a sound mind, a sound team. Like we followed them from the spring.
Yeah, yeah. We were there. We were there from the beginning. We were the journey. I mean, you
It is a
I covered,
journey.
I
It is a
covered the
true
banquet.
journey.
I covered the banquet like I wasn't there, but I shared, what was said. I watched the banquet because it was recorded, and to share what
Ring
Kobe's message
ceremony.
was, the ring ceremony. We covered it all. So we were really a part of this journey ourselves, and it was heartbreaking to see how it ended. And realistically, I'm going to start it off. I mean, I'm going to start it off. Unfortunately, Sevier County on the scoreboard, it says 24-17 in double overtime, but I'm putting an asterisk on there because it was clear to
Absolutely.
me from every angle that was
Yeah.
shown that young man, Antoine Burdine Jr., was in the end zone with a catch. Parker Dubon delivered a beautiful ball to him. It was there, and he's in. And I don't know what this ref was looking at, but he should never be allowed to ref a game again. And I'm going to tell you
Right.
why. Because you robbed these young men from a chance of defending their title. Now, I don't want to take anything away from Sevier County. They made the plays that they made. Their coaches had a good game plan, and they executed it to the full extent. And guess what? They didn't turn the ball over. So those are all big things. But what I want to say more than anything is that unless you are under the age of 3 years old, you have peripheral vision. I know you're looking straight ahead, but at the right side of your eye of where you're standing, cross-eyed or not, you should have seen that young man in the end zone with the ball clearly over. Even if it was halfway over, once it touches the line, that's a touchdown. Okay?
All the ball has to do is clear the goal line.
That's it. That's it. Front part of it.
He caught it in the end zone.
The end zone.
The back tip of the ball may have been on the line, but the
Yes.
majority of that football was in the blue. And you're telling me that every single person I've heard talk about this game, every comment I've seen, even listening to the Packer crew, said this was a touchdown. I guess we're going to encourage it.
The 5-star preps guy's picture two pair had him from the back. It was all the way in. And that was on their headline of their website, for God's sakes. And then you're telling me that the TSSAA said to take that picture down? Why are you defending that?
TSSAA said take it down.
Why are you defending that?
TSSAA said take it down. TSSAA don't want to see the picture. They don't want any recollection of the game.
Yeah.
Now, this is what I say in that aspect is those kids, those young men, those coaches, they worked so hard in preparation for a game like this to be in that situation, and for it to be in the officials' hands and not be really played out on the field, because everywhere I look and turn, people are saying a touchdown. This is from non-West people. This is from West people. Mm-hmm. It's just the fact that Antoine Burdine caught that pass. It's no fault of, that wasn't a bad pass. It wasn't, anything of that nature. It was a pass from Dubon that was accurate in the end zone, and there's tape, there's evidence. There's actual
still
evidence,
pictures, videos, angles, everything. Here's my thing.
For you.
Here's my thing too. Whether you were cold or not, sir, and you wanted to get out of the cold, put a freaking jacket on. I mean, you robbed us of more football, because here's the thing. Maybe Pete gets the kick blocked. Maybe Lamar goes for 2. If we don't get the 2-point conversion, fine. But that was a damn touchdown.
The next overtime should have been 2-point conversions after that.
After that, like mandatory, right? You still get the ball at the 10, right? Is that what it is? Or do they put it at the 3 like in college?
Ooh.
I think it's the 10-yard line, but you're right, Shane. I think you have to go. No, you know what? It is the 10-yard line, because remember, we did play a 3 overtime with Bearden. We know that. So, but you have to go for 2. And if you don't have a 2-point conversion play, it's over and everything like that. But yeah.
Do that tight end hot route.
Just robbed him, man.
Yeah, just robbed him. I mean,
robbed him.
But the thing is, this official, I don't care where you're from. I don't care if you had a dog in the fight or not. But for the love of God, man, you should never be allowed to ref a game at all. Or, if I
Right.
could even go a step further, a game of that magnitude that robbed us. I mean, listen, they brought their 12-0 record. I said this was going to be a gargantuan fight. It was a Friday night. It was on the field. They were hitting each other. They were going after each other. People got injured. People walked off the field hurting. People were hurting and playing. And you robbed them from settling it on the field. They don't come to see you. You're just there for the love of God to just make sure that they don't kill each other out there.
You're there to keep order and make
That's
sure
it.
the game is to be played between the 22 players on that field at that given moment. You let the players decide how that game comes. You never put the game in a referee's hand.
Never, never. That's what Jimmy Johnson said. He learned it the hard way. Here's the other thing too. That really disturbs me about the whole thing. The fact that the TSSAA is condoning this, because the next week it could be your team that it's done to, you know? I mean, there has got to be, Shane, and I have been preaching this. I know that there's a shortage of officials, but at the same time, the officials that are entrusted and have taken that sacred duty to do these games, for the love of God, be better. I know it's fast, but think about it for a second. Play it in your head. Why did the back judge not come in and confer? For God's sakes, they confer about every other touchdown I felt this year when we were playing against teams. I watched other
the whole night, every other call, everything. Okay, how many times was Sevier County? We knew they were short, and they got favorable freaking spots.
And it was that guy on that side. Thank you.
And then when we make that catch going down the field, going the other way. And then, we're going to bring the chains out now. It's like he clearly was past the marker.
And let's not forget this. He was dragged down by his helmet. You can't tell me that there wasn't even an incidental face mask or anything that would have – listen, Rogers has a hell of a leg. And my boy, hats off to you. That 46, that would have been good for 56 yards the way it went through. But the thing is that literally how much nicer would that have been on the 24-yard line instead of the 29-yard line? Or maybe, Shane, it's on the 13-yard line with a 15-yard penalty. You know, I'm just saying that there were things that could have been happening there and so forth, and it didn't happen. And so my point is that they confer about everything. You're right. They bring out the chain crew. I mean, it's absurd. It's absurd. And there were spots that were always on the other side. And I'll tell you this: I think that there was a stop on 4th and 1 that was very controversial, and they basically said, "Wave it on." You know,
I mean, I was sitting there down there with Nate Martin. Shout out to Nate. Thanks for things you said to me. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Pretty much anything I need from school, let me know.
Yep.
So appreciate Nate. It's great seeing him again. But we're sitting there watching things. It's short. It's short the whole way. There was no way he got it. And I'm seeing first down the chain crew. It's like, are you watching my language?
Yep.
Watching my language? Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like it was almost like the refs had already picked who they wanted to win because of Sevier County's feel-good story for the year and to send their coach out on the high note and all that stuff. Because their coach is retiring after this year, right? This is
think that was the Pigeon Forge guy, Meadows. I think that was the Pigeon Forge guy. But it doesn't. But here's the thing.
They're all from the same county.
But Shane, here's the thing. You might be onto something because, it is a feel-good story. Let me tell you something. The Joey Matthews team that won state, they didn't even go undefeated. They lost 4 games that year that nobody remembered, everybody forgets. They got hot at the right time and won that. This Sevier County team in their 100th year is their best team, and they're undefeated, and they are going to get to play Oak Ridge on Friday night. And let me tell you this, Oak Ridge, consider who they've been playing and everything. They're there, so I can't make fun of them like I was. Honestly, it's shocking. It's shocking, but it should be us there. But the sad thing is what everybody really wanted to see. And I'm going to tell you this: if I was a Page player, I wouldn't be sending no fruit basket to Sevier County, because here's what that Page team's going to do. They're probably going to win state in 2 weeks. I could be wrong, but here's the other thing about that: you didn't beat us. You beat the team that beat us. But at the end of the day, your guys are going to go through and think, we never beat West. That's what's going to be.
Ever.
Listen, kiss your rings. You earned them. You earned them. Allowing however many points you've done all year against your schedule, blah, blah, blah. But you still haven't beaten West, Page.
They would rather.
We'll see you next year if you're back. So.
They would rather had a rematch. If I say, hey, we finally beat them and had the opportunity to win it the way they wanted to, compared to, we're playing a team. I'm not trying to take anything away from Sevier County or take anything away from this. No. I truly believe West is the better team. But, it's a pride thing as a player. Like, there are certain teams like you want to beat, and you would do anything to beat them. Like, for us, we would have done anything in the world to beat Maryland.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, look how special it was to finally beat Bearden senior year, your junior year, and then you guys beat him again your senior year, like you started.
I remember our fans storming the field.
Yes, it was so special. And at their place, But like I said, I don't want to take anything away from Sevier County. I congratulated their coaches in the press box, but then I'm getting my phone blown up by Terry Maples. I'm getting my phone blown up by you guys. James, that was a touchdown. So I'm watching it, but like I swear, I thought I saw the ref say that it was incomplete or whatever like that, like that it hit the ground. And so at that point, I just tossed my binoculars and I'm in shock. We've lost. It's over. Game's over. And then I go back and watch the replay. I see these still pictures and I'm like, we got robbed.
Got hosed.
We got hosed. I mean, this is like the Fiesta Bowl, man. This is like the Fiesta Bowl.
It's like the more I watch the video, the more and more I watch the video, I'm like, how are you not seeing this as a touchdown? Yeah. Like, how do you not see it's a touchdown? It is a touchdown. No matter how you slice this pie, it is a touchdown. In so many shapes and forms, it's a touchdown. What evidence
I've seen more questionable touchdowns. Like, was he really in?
Yeah.
Compared to that one. Like, I'm not gonna lie. When I won my first middle school championship, when they started the middle school league, it was really, really close on if that was a touchdown, and they gave it to us. So you're telling me that one that's completely indisputable, like it's clear, like he had possession in the end zone. Like you're calling it, he's short, man.
I mean, again, like I don't want to take away anything from Sevier County, but here's the thing: make them earn it. Because here's my question, Shane. Again, maybe Lamar does kick the extra point. Maybe Pete hits it wide. Maybe it gets blocked. Why don't we find out? And if it happens like that, the touchdown's the touchdown. There's no guarantees that it's, we still got to make a point or go for two. So that's what I don't understand what the ref did there is it's like, what, are you afraid that West was going to get the two and that was it? Honestly, or maybe we didn't get the third pick. Here's another thing that I want to bring up to you guys. And I'm not trying to be biased, but I have seen a pick play be called all the time in college football. And I don't know if there's just not a rule against it in high school, but that's how Sevier County. So that's what it is. There's no rule against it, right? In high school.
I can tell you exactly how it works too.
Yeah.
Exactly how it works. Yeah. So if you're a receiver, say you line up in the slot and try and get your outside receiver to come across, or if you go in trips, you run as hard as you can like you're running your route. You can't block. Everything's up. Move in his direction. Basically, you're setting a screen. You're setting a pick.
Yeah.
It's legal. It works. I've used it. It is a beautiful play. And it will work all day long.
Unless it's called against you like it was against West against Halls 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, because Antoine Burdine did that and Patterson's in the end zone and basically they called offensive pass.
You have to basically get as close as humanly possible without initiating any contact. If you do initiate contact on it, then you're considered you're blocking and you're ineligible man down.
Gotcha. Well, I saw it get called against Miami again. The ACC refs love calling it against Miami, but yeah.
Let's talk about it like this. Things that led up to putting us in that position.
Okay.
I say like far as how we began the season on an opening drive and how we ended the season on an opening drive.
Yeah.
Those things play out for your season and can be characteristic of, won't say this in the right way,
Mm-hmm.
that shows progression and things that you may need to tighten up. It, like football is a total journey when you watch this team. Like this
Mm-hmm.
was a journey.
Yeah.
And you can become captivated in seeing the team that was destined for three. Like I really think more than anything, this squad was robbed of a chance of something that was unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
And then the history of our program changed when things like that happen. Like that loss is kind of program changing
It is. No,
because
it is. Yeah.
it has lit a fire for these underclassmen and these juniors.
That's what I was about to say. I hope this next class rising up, and those are all on the team right now. They're out there on Friday night, and those incoming freshmen that we'll have, that this thing is ingrained in their head.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The
All
28-27, Shane, sorry to cut you off, but that 28-27 that they used as motivation for the Cottrell team to come back and win it all, the whole thing, and literally they ripped those signs down when they went to go beat State. Hillsborough didn't have a chance. I don't care how many 5 stars they had on there. Wes was not losing that 2014 state championship game. And what I want these guys to do is put up 24-17. Put an asterisk by it like I have right here. Because at the end of the day, it's 24-23, and we're lining up for either a 2-point conversion or to send the game into the third overtime. But here's what you got to do. You got to get stronger, and you've got to want it more. These teams, every week, they brought it. Every week. Even lowly Davy Crockett tried their little best, okay? But I'm just saying that next year, you've got a new region, okay? Listen, you still got your Powell. You still got your Central, and you still got Halls. But you've got Clinton now as a region member, when before that was an out of
Mm-hmm.
conference. You've got Campbell County back in your region. And you've got now, Carnes back in your region. Okay. Now, say what you will about these programs, but with the exception of Campbell County, all of them made the playoffs. So the schedule is what it is. Maybe the names aren't there. And then you still have
Mm-hmm.
3 out of conference games with some kind of combination. You might have a Bearden on there. You might have Alcoa. You might have Maribels. I don't know. But I'm just saying there's going to be somebody that's going to be unfortunately dropped. AAC might be out there. Maybe they want to do something with Fulton
and
again.
they're
I don't know.
talking about wanting to keep Farragut also because it's the whole battle of West Box.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, and I'd like to keep. I
Yeah.
hope they keep Bearden. Between us, I would love to keep the 6A schools on there. I would love to keep Bearden. I'd love to keep Farragut, and I would love to keep Maryville. No disrespect to the Alcoa bunch, but realistically, I think Maryville will prepare you for what you will face. In the big boy playoffs of 5A and so forth. And if you can go toe to toe with them, you can go toe to toe with anybody. Because I think Maryville right now is going to finish their journey in 2 weeks in Chattanooga and get their 6A title. I believe that the way they're playing right now. So
6A is the Maryville Invitational right now.
yeah, it is. And Alcoa has been the 3A Invitational, and I don't know what to say about 4A. And then you've got Anderson County, who's a 4A school who beat Greenville last week. It looks like Anderson County's probably going to win 4A. So the thing is, you beat the team that was in 4A. I mean, 3 of the teams that were on your schedule are going to be state champions. You should be a 5A state champion again. That's what hurts so bad. If Page beat us on the field, we're still taking a silver ball back. This team was worthy enough to be a silver ball, if not gold again. Honestly,
If
I
not
mean that.
gold,
Yeah,
if not gold, they should at least have like
at least that's. I mean,
it
dude, we
just
would have
it
beaten Oak
pains
Ridge
me,
on Friday
man,
night.
because like those seniors, the Sean Battle, the the Steven Johnsons,
I'm
you know
going
what
to
I'm
name them right now.
saying?
I'm going to name them right now, Two Pair. Here's
Like
the seniors.
29 seniors.
29 seniors. And let me just tell you this. And Shane, I'm bringing you back on. I'm going to bring you back on. Let me just tell you this, guys. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Steven Johnson. I can't say enough about this show. I appreciate you all. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate all of our subscribers and fans, even those that don't subscribe and watch just for a few minutes. I even appreciate the other teams' fans. for you guys. We definitely got robbed. I love this team. They didn't deserve to go out like that. No, they didn't. No, they didn't deserve to go out like that. They deserved, if we get an ass whipping like a Maryville or something like that, that's fine. But I want it like that. I never want it the way that just happened on Friday night. But I want to give some love to this senior class because I want you guys to know I don't want that missed call to define the rest of your lives. Because at the end of the day, bros, you guys are champions. 2 state titles, 4 region championships, 49-8 overall record, 3rd most wins in school history. They had a chance, had they not been robbed, to tie for 1st. And that was the group from last year. Just to let you guys know. So, you all are champions. All 29 of you. Jack Keith, Antoine Burdine Jr., Dominic Davis, Tyson Butler, David Drada, Riley Manning, Parker Dubon, Corey Person, James Mills, Jones Bolick, Adarian Jackson, Jordan Hayes, Jack Hankins, Jacob Daggy, Chase Brody, Sergio Rodriguez, Antarius McAllister, Tavion Ray, Wyatt DeRoche, Brink Colquitt, Troy Patterson, Corson Potter, Cameron Leggett, Stephen Johnson Jr., Deshaun Battle, Jack Codavilla, and Aiden Harris. All of you should be saluted. No matter you were with this program 1 year or all 4, you are a rebel with a cause for life, and don't let nobody take that from you. Nobody. And you continued the tradition and the excellence of region championships because, yeah, it's not a banner that's going to be hung up, unfortunately, but at the end of the day, you continued that tradition. And for the rising juniors and the underclassmen, like you said, Shane, the minimum goal is region championship. The ceiling is the state championship. And there's nothing underneath that. That's the strive for excellence. That's this program. That's a tribute to Coach Brown, Scott Shavers, and the staff that works their ass off. And it goes all the way to the proud parents, the One West community. I hate the fact that I'm not going to get to see those signs, bless you, on Sutherland Avenue this year. Wish you luck at state. The little kids at the elementary school are going to shake the players' hands where the buses stop on the way down to I-75. I had a whole thing planned for us to do a live show from Chattanooga outside there. It would have been amazing. Amazing at the bar. I had already gotten permission from them. They were going to let us set out right outside the stadium there at the bar, having a great time with the thing. I called that.
That would have been beautiful.
That would have been dope, dude.
Been epic.
But thank you to Mr. Referee there. I hope you don't have a happy holidays, you jackass. Shit.
Filthy
Ruining
animal.
my holiday. So
Nah,
yeah.
man, it's just the thing of I felt like they definitely robbed a community of seeing something that could have been unprecedented because those 29 seniors left it all on the field. And I'm gonna miss a lot of those guys, man. Like
I've watched them
one
grow
of them.
up. I've watched them grow up. I mean,
Yeah,
from the backbone
yeah.
of the 22 undefeated team to being the guys themselves. And you know, we talked about it last week. Write your story. They did write their story. Unfortunately, some editor came in and said, "The hell with you."
It got the production. They go, "Do you want the feel good story for the other team because it's their 100th season?"
Yeah.
Sorry, okay. I'm just still salty.
No, it is salty. And I mean, listen, 1,000. I mean, look, I'm going to throw it out here right now. I mean, the fact that we hadn't lost a playoff game to a 5A opponent in 1,094 days, man. It was 1,094 days. Now, technically, the state champion, we are state champion until one is crowned Friday night. So that number will be extended just by a few days. But unfortunately, we're not there to defend our crown.
Yeah.
So, so December 6th, it's actually December 5th is the last day we're state champions. So, but here's the thing. When you guys come back, you see those banners on the wall, you're responsible for 2 of them. You are. And never forget that. And for the underclassmen, work your ass off, listen to your coaches, do what you got to do to get your bodies right,
Mm-hmm.
and get ready to be on a revenge tour yourself. I want this team to come back like how Maryville has done and rode everybody hard and they made them like it. That's what I want from
Yeah.
this team.
Yeah.
Because realistically, it's very similar how the journeys both ended. So, yeah.
And the thing is coming in, being sharp, being disciplined, like just keep leaving the program in a better place. Like what Nathan Cottrell said, keep
Mhm.
leaving the program in a better place.
Yep.
And these 29 seniors have left this program in a better place for their accomplishments that they have achieved. Just with that record of 49-8, didn't even lose 10 games in 4 years is pretty
Hell, we
impressive.
only won 10 games in 4 damn years that we
I
played there,
tell
it
you,
felt like. Shit. Come on
telling you,
now. And they didn't even
telling you,
lose 10. Look at that.
telling you,
Look at what's
like,
happened in 20 years on Sutherland Avenue, baby. I couldn't be
you
more
know,
proud, damn it. I love you
I'm
guys.
I'm I'm so glad that I was a part of basketball teams that were above 500.
Yeah,
It
man. I
was I
mean,
was a
shoot.
part of some. I've announced some teams that were below 500.
Yeah, yeah.
So you know what I'm saying. You live and you learn. And I think one thing that's going to be a telltale sign is the off season is now
Yeah.
for these guys. Your off season is now.
Hmm.
Like it
You
is.
got
It
now
is.
to school for the weight room hits.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like because you're gonna miss that leadership of Parker Duvon. You're gonna miss that electrifying playing by. You're gonna miss that electrifying playing of Tavion Ray in the backfield. You're
And
gonna miss that.
Burdine. Yeah,
You're gonna miss
man.
Burdine. You're gonna miss Port Chop and Sirius McAllister. You're gonna miss a lot of those guys. But there's a lot
DeRoche.
of
Yeah, I
you're gonna
mean,
miss the
DeRoche.
Roche.
Yeah.
Like, but you have guys that are your future. JP Peace is gonna be a future Mr. Football.
Yes, he is.
He's
Yes.
gonna be a future Mr. Football
Yep.
in the state of Tennessee.
Yep.
Like Harrison. Harrison is Harrison is gonna put up numbers next year
Hmm.
at quarterback.
Yep.
Like I
I think so.
really think you're gonna see um, a team that's gonna be hungry because their off season is now just the way they are right now. The whole approach on social media is they know what the goal is and they
Mhm.
know what they're driving for and they felt like they should still be playing.
And they should be. And they should be. Can I tell you this, guys? A tradition that I'm used to, and like I said, I'm kind of lost tomorrow. I'm kind of lost these next couple days. You talk about being spoiled. The fact that I've had free football on a Friday night deciding whether we're going to a state championship or not. Sometimes it hasn't gone our way, but to be there in that Final Four is special. The right to play, to practice on Thanksgiving morning, start off with a breakfast cooked by the dads over there at Dead End Barbecue on Sutherland Avenue. And then you transition for that final walkthrough practice. And then you go enjoy the rest of the day with your families. And then you're back there at 3 o'clock, ready to go Friday, whether you're on the road or
Man,
whether
that's
you're,
awesome.
I mean, and
It's
it
just not
should be
gonna happen
happening.
this year.
And I don't know what the hell to do with
Yeah,
myself the next 2 days. I mean,
yeah.
some people have
Because
even said to me, like, and here's the thing, I don't know about you guys. I get to work. Sorry, your team lost. Sorry. I mean, everybody knew. Everybody knew. And it's like, I don't need to be reminded. Thank you. Don't even say anything. I don't need to hear it. I don't. Trust me. I've replayed it in my mind over and over again.
it's
But it's
so
like,
sad to
it is
watch, man.
horrible, man. I don't know
I
what the
hate
hell to do, honestly.
I
So,
hate
yeah.
listening to our commentary on it. Like me and Shane are giving some of the best commentary, and it's like
Yeah.
it's gonna be hard posting. It's gonna be hard for you to be posting these videos on
It
your
is.
page.
It is. No, and I'm gonna have to grin and bear it and do it this weekend. I'm going to. I needed a week. I needed a week to just think about things. And
Cleanse.
a
It's
cleanse.
like trying to.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you try to forget about it. You know what I mean? It's just for the fact that these young men work so hard. Like
Yeah.
these dude, like Cameron Leggett,
Oh
man,
my
like
God, man.
Cam Leggett,
Yeah.
like Sam Lavelle,
Yep.
Wyatt DeRoche, this defense, Riley Manning,
Yep. Dominic
Jordan
Davis.
Hayes.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I give it up for Jordan Hayes.
Man, he was. I'm telling you, dude, that guy was a lockdown corner. I'm gonna miss him tremendously. Honestly. Now, there's some guys that I'm looking to. I'm gonna just let you know. Zarion, Abel. I'm saying you guys got to be the next ones. Those lockdown corners, man. You got some big shoes to fill. Ethan Fortner, that back there at safety. I want to see you lay the wood, young man. Honestly, but you got to do it in the weight room, and you got to listen to your coaches. Honestly, you gotta make that next step, because now it's your team. It's your time to
The
do something.
sack reaper, we need my man Dale. We need my man Dale.
Give him hell, Dale. So there you
Give
go.
him hell,
So
Dale.
yeah.
We need you, Dale.
Hey,
Number 71.
I don't
the
know if
sack
he
reaper.
listen. I don't know if he is. I don't know if he's watching or not. But Nalaja, my man, you need to get in that weight room, and you need to basically listen to what our guy, Morgan Shavers, tells you. That's the best defensive line coach right there. And I listen. You lose a DeRoche, you lose a Leggett, like you said, but baby, we always reload at that. It's up, next man up. And I'm going to tell you this: a guy that really made some strides and was playing and left it out there, Mr. Sam Hudson, 97. You, my boy, you keep doing what you're doing, because next year it's your turn. And I loved my guy Ernst, big 69 out there, plug in the middle. Do what you got to do to get stronger. I'm just saying that I am looking forward to seeing a lot of these juniors and sophomores that maybe didn't get an opportunity out there.
Mm-hmm.
This is your time to shine. And the coaches are watching everything that you do when you're on the out, how you're doing your grades, how you handle your business. Act
Right.
like act like a good rebel, man. Act like the
Yeah.
class, honestly, how you
Yeah.
carry yourself. I'm not trying to preach, because I ain't perfect, but what I'm saying is you guys got an opportunity, and everything that you do is how it translates. And you guys got to keep it going, honestly, because these seniors would give anything to get one more play, one
Man, they
more moment.
would. One more crack at this.
And they didn't even get that
Like,
opportunity because of
they
a
didn't even get
jackass
that
official.
opportunity. It's it's really sad, because I want to say these coaches did a phenomenal job this year.
Oh, they did. With
Like,
what they lost
what
last
they
year, you've
lost,
got
what they
Ryan Scott played.
lost.
Ryan Scott is playing for Tennessee right now. I mean, that is the best linebacker in West history. There were some great ones, but nobody will tell me any different. And you're going to see him making more plays on Saturdays as he
DJ
gets older.
Smith
He's
is
only a
playing for
freshman.
Chattanooga.
Yes. Marshawn Bowers is
Marshawn
at Tennessee
Bowers,
Tech. So, yes, you
Tech.
lost some dudes. I mean, yeah. So, yep. Hell, I mean, you got some guys like Britton Carver that could have walked on to Tennessee, and he said, you know what? I'm just going to be a student. I'm good. That's what you lost last year. Look what you lost 2 years ago. Braden Latham is killing it at EKU right now. Honestly, you lost some guys, and these guys, I hope some of them continue, to play ball somewhere, anywhere to get an offer. Guys, you take it and you run with it, baby. Make it
Right,
the
you gotta
right offer.
run with it.
Make it the right offer, But listen, the fact that you can continue to play football, because for a lot of us, it didn't. It didn't continue on. Some of us
It
had
was
career-ending
over.
injuries. Some of us had career-ending injuries that it finished. And I mean, think about the TJ Blakely story. To talk about Michael Lynn, I mean, these
Yeah.
guys had things in the pipeline, and it got taken away from them. But I say all that I love this team. We bonded with this team, and we're going to bond with next year's team. We're going to be there until they say we don't want you here, honestly. And I hope that day never comes, but we will be there. And like I said, that's what the most heartbreaking thing of it is. And I meant what I said last week. I wanted one more week with you guys. I wanted as many weeks as humanly possible until they said no more football,
And shout
And
out to Kane Hamilton. Shout
I
out
was
to Kane Hamilton on the sidelines as well. Him taking photos and getting a lot of the imagery every week. Shout out to Kane Hamilton, man. Like, he got some really dope photos of like some of the stuff that we were filming. And I'm not gonna lie, it's one of the biggest. Um, it's one of the biggest and the exciting things I've ever done in my career is covering high school football.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
it is truly fun. Like it is and it's an enjoyment just to be on the sidelines and you're getting that type. I'm getting field level views of the
Mm.
play.
Yeah, yeah. And
It was
what about
just,
that atmosphere, Shane? What about that atmosphere, man? And here's the thing too: as cold as it was, there were asses on the seats on both sides.
mhm.
The bands were playing. There were people on the track. I mean, what better atmosphere than that there in
That
Oklahoma City?
I haven't felt that excited on a sideline since I played on that field.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was just, I mean, the crowd was into it. I mean, when we were having to run up and down the field on the sideline to get to the other side of the end zone, when we went to overtime, I'm talking about the whole staff that was over there. We're taking off down the field. You don't see that anywhere else.
Yeah,
So, God, like that was the greatest feeling I've had. Even though we lost, being out there was just one of the greatest feelings I've had as not only an alumni but as coaching football. Everything I've done in my life, like that was just this is special being there. Like you have to love being a part of this program.
of course. And just me being in the press box, it was special. We were hugging, and and that's why if you hadn't seen it, I did do a post game report. And again, I wasn't really aware of what was going on with how that was a touchdown, but I talked about the fact is that this team gave such joy. you know, let me tell you something. It was a ride. It was a fun ride, honestly. And unfortunately, the ride just got cut short. And but next year's team, I'm interested in your story. I'm interested in the ride you take us on
Mhm.
and so forth. It's going to be a different region. I mean, like I said, I mentioned, listen, don't the names are the names, okay? But here's the thing. You're now I think what's interesting is the region that we were given is now there's a lot more geographical closer games. For example, and I'm sorry, I forgot somebody. William Blunt is now on the schedule too. So you lose Heritage, but you add William Blunt. So I mean, there is 8 teams in this region, 7 region games, 3 out of conference. And right now, with everything that we are losing with 29 seniors, West is still the prohibitive favorite to be region championship. If you're doing an early poll of those 8 teams, Powell's losing a lot from that team. Halls is losing some guys as well. Central is under Coach Lane. Campbell County is going to be in their second year with Pemberton. Carnes, they're probably losing a lot on the defensive side of the ball. Shane, what do you think? I mean, at
I,
this
I
point,
believe so.
yeah,
I don't know the program well enough to know what they got. I know they kind of have a smaller senior class this year, but I mean,
yeah,
those guys contribute over there. I mean,
yeah.
they've made the playoffs. They've got good fan support there. That team seems to always just needs to. They struggle a little bit finding who their identity is. They need another season with like a Deshaun Bishop type kid out there. But
Yeah. And then look at Clinton. Clinton is still recovering from the mess that happened over there.
yeah,
They're going to be settling on a new coach, and it's going to take him time to establish something.
Mhm.
But here's what I can tell you that's established: the coaching staff at West, the program, the culture. What's the
Mhm.
expectations? And now it's just the players need to insert themselves, know the playbook, and we go from there, honestly. And we'll have a lot to talk about when it comes to that. So, but
Man,
listen,
we
a
will.
shout out to these seniors. We love you. And just like the guys that I saw CJ Smith in the crowd. I saw some other guys. I saw Marshawn at the game, and he gave me a big hug. I want them to come back wherever they go to pair. I want them to come back.
Just
That I,
keep
I want
keep
I
that
want guys
same
from
alumni.
our generation to come back and just
Mhm.
know we know you were there. Maybe we weren't the greatest teams back then, but I want you guys to come back because this was the foundation. Once you're a rebel, you're always a rebel. Okay, honestly. So come back. And these seniors, you come back, baby. Honestly, and always encourage the younger guys and help them with what they need to do because, it's their tradition better than how you found it, just like what Nathan
Yeah,
Cottrell said. So,
leaving it better than when you found it. Like, and that's what I'll say to guys like I love seeing guys like James Mills and Dave Drotta.
yeah.
Like they have probably one of the funniest interviews we've done on Rebels with a Cause.
Yeah.
Just two funny guys. You know what I'm saying? Dominique Davis, the Wyatt DeRoche interviews,
Mm.
the Parker Dubon
What about
interviews
how
were
many times I
great.
interviewed Parker, and what a
Jack
respectful
Keith,
young man.
yeah,
And,
Riley
so proud of
Manning,
you as a quarterback to watch you grow
Hayden Lee.
here.
Hayden Lee probably has the best mic drops of
Yeah.
all of our
Eh, eh,
guys. Cam Leggett, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Tavion Ray, like a lot of these guys were just Messiah Wren.
Messiah business.
Like
Yeah.
here's what's crazy. If you look at spring to fall,
Yeah.
they had media training the entire time.
They did. They
Because
did.
what wasn't Messiah Wren getting interviewed after the Anderson County game?
He was. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Parker actually had to end our interview to go get interviewed by five-star preps after the Halls game. So I'm being serious. So yeah, I mean, yeah. It it was it was a hell of a ride, and in
It was a hell
basketball.
of a ride.
And here's the thing, and now basketball is going to get more. We experimented a little bit with it last year. Now we're going to experiment, and I hope that.
Looked great against Central.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. No, they're going to be a problem. No, they're going to be a problem, and
They
and
looked great against
and I hope we get
Kalu
access. Yeah,
Fofana, the Prince of Zamunda. Look, let me say this. There's not a lineup that can go 12 deep like we go 12 deep.
mm-hmm.
Maybe even 14. They could play 14 guys off this team. Now I will have some news that kind of I really want to extend you know what I'm saying, my hand to this young man and say to him that whatever is going on in his life, we really just need to, you know what I'm saying, pray for him. Like I just don't know. With him not being on this team, I felt like there's a void of another void that could be very big on this team. And Mike Nelson is not playing this year. It's really sad because I don't know what is, you know what I'm saying, transpired in that time, but just really want to, you know what I'm saying, keep him in our prayers, let him know he's always a rebel. Whatever decision he makes is best for him, his family. I want to support that. It's just I would really love to see him on this team with this group. Like I felt like they all came in together, and then him not being on the team last year, and then him working his tail off in the spring and the summer, and then just
I hate hearing that. I really
yeah,
do.
I hate hearing it because I really was looking forward to watching this kid play, man. Like phenomenal player. His uncle is Anthony Bennett,
Mm-hmm.
and just what I'm saying, the lineage there and the legacy
And
of
that would have been
him.
special. That would have been special.
Yeah, that'd been
Kind of
real
like,
special.
because AB is going to be on the show at one point. We're still working
Man,
that out. But
that's
yeah,
like trying to get Michael Jordan on the show.
it is. It
It
is.
is it is
He's a
tough.
hard
It's
guy.
tough.
Yeah, it's also like getting
Hard
Brandon
guy to
Bell on
get.
the show too. So I
Larry
mean,
Williford.
old BB. So
Larry
yeah,
Williford.
yeah. So
Larry Williford episode. Oh man, we might break the internet with Larry Williford episode.
we might.
Michael
So
Courtney, we might break the bank. Brandon Bell, we might break the bank.
I did want to say this.
Matthew White, you ain't coming on the show until 2027.
That ain't true.
2027. Nah, Matt White. We gotta get
We'll
Matt
get him
White.
on.
If
We'll
you
get him on.
watch the show, we got to get you on the
We'll
show,
get him
man.
on.
We got to get you
We'll
on
get
the
the
show.
cheese on the show. We'll get the cheese on the show. So I want to do the stats real quick from that Central game. Jalen Thrill-Hill had 14 points. Devin Martin, I mean, he was very close to a triple-double. He had 10 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists, man. That's Devin Martin right there. Best player in Knoxville. Kevin Jack had 9 points. Kalu Fofana, 9 points. Joe Dupree of the law firm of 3, 9 points. Reese Clark, 7 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Robert Schuler, also of the law firm of 3, 6 points and 6 rebounds. Liam Purnell, 3 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. And Malik Wilson, 3 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. That's as balanced a scoring as you can get, baby. And if you get that every night, it's just not fair.
That's right there.
Yeah. And they're going to be a fun team to watch. Honestly, they really are. And I can't wait to see them grow. Shout out to Coach E winning his first game. And I see a lot more of those for you, sir. I really do.
Oh my gosh,
so,
man!
Yeah, I'm excited.
I think he's going to be Coach of the Year.
Yep, he should
I think
be.
he's going to be Coach of the Year.
So.
I think if it's a battle between Coach of the Years, it's going to be with Jawan Smith over there at Catholic and our Coach E.
Mm-hmm.
I really think Jawan has put together a really good staff. He's got Greg Caldwell, who played at Carter back in the day, with his brother Demetric Caldwell, who, God bless, RIP, was one of the most phenomenal cornerbacks for Carter in those early 2000s, 2004, 5, around 2006-ish, around those times. I love what they're doing at Catholic. I think they've got a pretty good squad over there too. But
yeah, and it looks like they're going to make up that game on the 5th next Thursday, by the way. Thursday the 5th.
Thursday the 5th. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be Catholic versus West, and it's going to be at West. There's a JV boys basketball game, and then the girls, and then the varsity boys or whatever, if I'm not mistaken. So, yes.
Yeah, so the AE West game was canceled for the 26th.
Because of what happened or whatever. Okay, gotcha. So,
yeah.
All right.
Because I know the girls played the 25th.
Well, and they got Carnes. Carnes is so the 3rd, which I believe is Tuesday. Carnes and West play at West at 7:30. By the way, so so there's that.
Carnes and West.
Carnes and West, yeah. Then we play Catholic on Thursday the 5th. Then on the 10th, we might be able to get some revenge on Sevier County's basketball team because they come to West. So I know it's not the same, but I hope the boys basketball team gives it to them, that they don't forget it. So simple as that.
Man,
so,
you know that's gonna, what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
If West goes up, let's say if it's 83-43, Sevier County student section is going to say something about football.
Oh, you know
it.
The chant.
You know why?
Mm-hmm.
We started the chant of just like it. We've become the school that is. We've become the school that used to be the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we beat you, it would just be like, dang, I lost to West. Like, the first district title comes in 2000. That's my freshman year.
Yep, my sophomore.
So that's like my start of high school basketball is I'm thinking we're gonna get to a district championship every year just because of how we play, how we practice. And if I'd have knew what I knew now to put in like the time and the dedication, I was trying to play 2 sports.
Yeah.
And couldn't pick which one I really enjoyed because I love both equally. Yep. But man, it's like now I look at this basketball team with the depth. Like, dude, Robert Schuler is, if he was on any other team in Knox County, he's one of the best players on the court.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That's the
Well,
type
can
of
I throw
depth
this
they
out there?
have.
And not even having Birch, he's got to get healed up a little bit and so forth, and he'll get there. I mean, that's another weapon you have. I mean, you've got shooters galore. And realistically, I hate that Mike Nelson's not going to be a part of it. I hate that Cowan's not a
Dude.
part of it, honestly,
I hate Cowan is at Carter high
Cowan needs to
flying
be
it
at
up.
West, baby. Cowan needs to be at
If
West with
Chris
his brother.
Calvin was
So,
at West,
oh my God, dude. So,
God,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
he's like the miss. He gives you everything.
yep,
Like
yep.
it was so
It's not fair
it was
sometimes. I don't know.
bittersweet. It was bittersweet watching him in the jamboree and him just soaring through the sky. Like think if you have Devin Martin, Kevin Jack, Jalen Hill, Reese Clark type lineup.
Hmm.
That
With
lineup
with
was
Cowan, yeah, I know, right? So
with
shoot,
Cowan
yeah. I
and
mean, it's
and the
good
law
now.
firm
It's
of
good now, but
the
yeah.
law firm of three. Let me say this about the law firm of three. The way Joe Dupree has taken charge of that second unit with Malik Wilson.
Yeah.
That second unit with Kalu, Malik, and Joe, they've been crazy. And David Sanders is playing well. And then
Yeah,
you
he
could
is.
put Reese, you could leave Reese with that second unit if you wanted to. But
Hmm.
I really like the way Robert Schuler is rebounding for us. And I thought he'd probably come off the bench early in the season, but I love the fact that he's starting.
Oh
Like
yeah. Listen,
I like I
Coachy,
like that lineup.
Coachy. I think it helps that it's not all seniors, and now you're going to get Jack Keith going to get inserted in, and where he fits, you're going to get an energy player that's going to leave it all out there on the court. Great defender. I mean, that's just adding towards it. Like that you've got more depth, and you need it, especially with Birch out and with Nelson not going to be available like we thought originally going through the
Mm,
summer workouts. This team can do you know what I'd love for this team to do, and they can do it if they bring it every night, and that focus has to be there every night. And a matter of fact, every team that punked you last year, you should want to just destroy them this year, honestly. And I think that if you can stay healthy and bring it every night, I expect another district championship like in
mm,
2000. I expect another region championship like 2011-12 did. But more
mm,
importantly than anything, two pair, I expect, and Shane O'Mac, I want to see a gold, beautiful basketball brought and sat right next on that front desk, those two beautiful football trophies. And if Sevier County does happen to chant, football or whatever like that, they better have a ring in their back pocket, meaning that they beat Oak Ridge this Friday and that they beat Page next the following Friday. Because even with all that, you just still have two, and we got three. Just remember
mm,
that if you really want to go
mm,
the total of school history.
mm,
So keep going with that, baby. Keep going with that.
mm.
So,
Let me say this: Kalu Fofana has been he might be sophomore of the year. He might be sophomore of the year.
I know you've called him the
Kalu,
Prince, but I've
he
nicknamed
might
him
be the
Neo.
king.
I've nicknamed him Neo. If Will Smith had remember, Will Smith said that the worst decision he ever made in his acting career was passing up the Matrix to make, ironically, Wild Wild West. Keanu Reeves became a star being Neo. Neo could have been Will Smith. Just think about that, honestly. So, yeah.
Kalu Fofana has been I don't know if there's a more exciting sophomore in Knox County.
Yeah.
Like he is just we knew he was good as a freshman. Like you
Yeah.
could see the signs,
Mm-hmm.
but when you see it now, the ball handling, he's got it on a string.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see this man getting touched.
Hmm.
And I
And
think
look
it
what he
helps.
was behind last year too, Pear. There were, I mean, he was the one freshman on varsity, but look who was in front of him, and like he has edged his way that he belongs, obviously. And you talk about leading that second unit too. Whew. Yeah,
Second unit. I really think that the second unit and the way Joe has been shooting, I felt like Joe's become a better shooter just in a matter of months. Like just with, I think him, you know what I'm saying? He's a senior. He's so relaxed, and when he's coming in, he's got the green light. Like
Mm-hmm.
wherever Joe shoots it from, it's good.
Yeah, and let me that one against Webb that he shot, that was from downtown Knoxville. He made that one, baby, because it was nothing but net. And when Birch made his three, that was nothing but net. I mean, we are a problem for teams this year. And you talk about that second unit. That second unit could probably win 15 games if they were just their own team in
I
the
think so
district.
too,
I believe that.
because
I believe
and
that.
Malik Wilson.
Yes.
I think Malik coming off the knee injury, you're seeing what really Malik can do. Like he's getting every rebound.
Hmm.
He's gonna lock up your guy on the perimeter or in the post. Um, he's got bounce now. You can see the bounce, and I really think like Malik knows, like, man, this is my last year. I'm gonna just go at it full, full throttle.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna say this about our girls team. It
Well, let's talk about it.
is the girls. It is a completely culture. Like you're seeing a transition in real time. You're seeing a
Hmm.
transformation of a basketball program in real time. And Coach Graves has really just turned this thing completely around with Tate Reddick. Like you're seeing a change in just you're seeing a freshman Josie Smith come out of nowhere. You're
Hmm.
seeing a Lillian Freeman who's just playing a Charlie Freeman. All the Emma Caps, you're seeing names you wouldn't be saying. Malia Queener, you're saying names now when you're talking about this team.
Do you know what it reminds me of, by the way? And I know that he didn't have the best reputation with the girls that we went to school with, but it's very Andy Rhines like, but he's
It
better
is,
liked. But he's better liked. And Graves
yeah,
is that coach that he can be
yeah.
tough, but he could also be a player's coach. I mean, two pair. I see freshman girls that are on that, I guess, the JV basketball team because there's really not a freshman girls team. But if you look at them, they're engaged on the bench helping giving water. You didn't see that last year. Like, I mean, they're going to have their opportunity. And it gave me chills to see, forget the score. Look at what is going on there. And here's the thing. I don't even remember us scoring 20 points at all last year. And we had 20 against a very good Austin East girls team the other night.
Yeah, that Austin East girls team is coached by Gwen Johnson, former UT
Women's player.
legend. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Great, they're gonna be a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
I just really like what Tate and what I'm saying, Jade and Cody have implemented, because they've changed my whole perspective of what this team is. And I'm just loving the way they fight. Like they
Yep.
were in the game with Sunbright. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
this is a whole cultural shift to where you look at these girls next year, they're gonna be a problem.
Yep. Yeah, they are.
Like, you know
Yeah,
what
they
I'm
are.
saying? The excuse me, the Caroline Wanamaker's, the Adelie Adams, they're gonna be a problem once they figure this thing out and they keep playing together
Mm-hmm.
and keep developing skill. Because
Mm-hmm.
they've came a long way
And
in a
listen, you got
short
to give a
time.
shout out to Ashlyn Stewart. I know she's a senior this year, but man,
Hmm.
she played really well in my opinion with the limited minutes she got out there against Webb. State champion Webb, coached by the evil sombrero Greg Hernandez and Kelly
My
Kane or what
man,
have you.
my
The
man
evil
Kelly. How
evil
about
Greg
Kelly Kane?
Hernandez.
How about Kelly Kane,
I
man?
know.
Oh my God, I
Dude,
love
they're both
Kelly Kane.
6'6",
I
both of them, and
love
I'm
Kelly Kane.
looking up at them like all 5'8" of me, like, geez, I'm in the land of
I love
giants
Kelly
or
Kane,
whatever.
man.
Shoot,
She
so.
was such a phenomenal player at UT.
Women's
Greg
basketball champion twice, I think she won too, didn't she? Or did she just
is
win one?
Kelly is
Because she was
Kelly a
with
part?
Bjorklund. That was that freshman group. Were they sophomores or freshmen? Candace Parker's senior year or whatever. I got to look that up.
Is it?
No,
I
they were
won't say
freshmen. They were freshmen. So she's a
they were
one-time
freshmen.
champion. They were the
Okay.
last of
Was
Pat's
that Vicky
champions.
Ball? Was that
Vicky
Vicky
Baugh was on
Ball?
that. I mean, dude, it was her and Vicky Baugh. I mean, you had Candace. I mean, you
Nikki
had
Anasiki?
Nikki Anasiki. You had
Alexis Fuller?
Alex Fuller. Alex Fuller, who I knew. Yeah, I mean, oh yeah,
I
yeah.
love Alex Fuller.
Oh my god, dude, that was such a fun team to watch back then, man. They were badass.
Yeah.
They were badass. So, but yeah, but anyway, but against Webb, I mean, Ashlyn Stewart hit a nice three, and I'm almost sorry I didn't take a picture of the scoreboard because it was technically 3-2. West had the lead on Webb. When would you have ever thought that? I mean,
Ashlyn Stewart has been shooting the ball really well.
she has. So yeah,
Holbert has been playing really well. We've been a lot better than I knew we were gonna. The philosophy had to change though.
yeah. Well, and I'll tell you this: when they get that first win, I will be right there to interview Coach Graves right after the game. Honestly, so yeah, because that's going to be
Yeah.
really special, and they're going to get it. It's just a question of when, not who. It's going to be when they get it. Honestly, and like I said, they almost pulled it off against Sunbright a couple of games ago. So yeah,
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
they should have won that game.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. They're growing. They got to learn to win. That's the thing. I mean, here football, we take it for granted, and so forth. So, but um, I do want to talk a little college football with you guys.
let's
Shane,
do it.
let's talk about this, man. So the college football playoff came out last week. We'll talk about last week real quick. Tennessee's out, lost a hard game against Georgia, and you've got Ole Miss with more losses. You've got Alabama with the same losses, a team you beat head to head, ranked in front of you. Total disrespect. You're on the outside looking in.
Yeah,
And
what
then
made no sense to me was like, oh, for Texas and Alabama, the Arkansas game was a good win, but yet it was a bad loss for us. Like it can't be both.
no.
Yeah,
And here's the thing. Then chaos ensues Saturday. We thought Friday night was chaotic. If you had told me, guys, listen, this is what's going to happen this weekend. Wes is going to lose on a controversial call Friday night. Alabama's not even going to score a touchdown against Oklahoma.
Mm,
And
mm.
Billy Napier is gotten an extra life in Mario Brothers to continue for next year. And
Man
Lane
lost
Kiffin and
his
Ole Miss are
job against
done.
Miami.
Yeah, lost his job against Miami, got rehired because of LSU and Ole Miss. We'll see him next year down in the Rock. But what I'm getting at,
negotiate
Isn't that crazy? Like, bro, Florida was on their deathbed.
they
It was
were
a wrap
they
in
were
the
done.
swamp.
They were done.
It was a wrap. Like I felt Miami was like, oh dang, y'all helped pack the bags.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Tennessee, we got them to the airport.
Yeah.
And then somehow, at the airport, he got on bending knees. He saw, look, feel like we can beat LSU. We beat LSU. Guess what? I feel like we can beat Ole Miss. These dudes have ruined a season for Ole Miss, and it was highly likely that people thought Lane Kiffin would take the Florida job.
I know. Isn't that weird? I mean,
The
we were
irony.
saying it. I mean, there was even talk of maybe Signotti over at Indiana, maybe going over to Florida, and Signotti just got a
And they
contract
failed.
extension with Indiana. Yes. Yeah. There was
Yeah.
even maybe talk of Dion.
Badly.
I don't know. There might have been talk about Dion too.
I've
So.
got both of these.
Don't fail.
It's just crazy what 1 week did.
Go for it.
I think Colorado's fall though for me.
What did they do?
That
The Big
Kansas
12.
team.
Do you know that there's guys? Do you want to know something? I've been wrong. I guess I just didn't understand what was going on with the college football playoff. I guess I'm understanding it more and more. I thought that the SEC, Big 10, Big 12, and ACC, because it's now Power 4, it's not Power 5 anymore. I thought they were assured at least one team in, being their champion. But it's not. It's actually the 5 highest ranked conference champions, which means that an AAC team could technically be there.
Yeah, they get that weird at-large bid.
Yeah. So there's a possibility that Boise State wins out. They'll get that bye week, but there's a possibility Tulane can actually get in there over one of the 4 Big 12 teams. Isn't that insane to think
they got
about?
a higher record, right?
Because they could be a higher rank. Yes. And so I'm like thinking to myself, the Big 12 could be left out of the playoff, guys. They could be left out of the playoff.
No, the Big 12
is underperformed.
Yeah.
Iowa State underperformed.
Everybody was kissing BYU's ass a couple weeks ago.
Kansas State underperformed. Who else do we need to go down the list? Colorado,
BYU like that. I mean, people were saying they should be the 3 seed or whatever like that. With how they were doing.
Lost?
Now 3. They're up. I think they've lost 3 now. Yeah.
Arizona at the beginning of the season was the trendy pick, right?
Yeah, and I don't know what happened there. Jed Fish.
Iowa State wasn't the trendy pick because of how people played their NCAA dynasty. Me.
Yeah.
Now Jaden Wiggins and all those dudes and Abdul Sama, they want to show you that they can play, and they've lost 2 games, right? 2 or 3 games.
3 now, yeah. So I mean, like I think all 3 of them. Shane, you might want to look this up just to correct me because I don't want to be inaccurate. But I am really under the impression that all 4 of those teams have 3 losses in the Big 12. Like it's not just conference lane. Like it's because I know Colorado lost to Nebraska, if I'm not mistaken, and that was an out-of-conference game. But what I'm getting at is
did Colorado lose to Kansas State?
They did.
They lost to Kansas. Did they lose it? Hold on.
They lost to Kansas, but they beat Kansas State. I think Colorado beat Kansas State, if I'm not mistaken. I think
Nebraska. No, they lost to Nebraska.
They lost to Nebraska. But you asked me about Kansas State. I think Colorado beat Kansas State, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
So.
All right, so you're saying you were saying Big 12?
Yeah, Big 12, yeah.
Okay, so if we go to this week's bracket, Arizona State would be representing the Big 12.
Okay. Wow.
Who would have Arizona State's got to beat Arizona.
They will come in at the 12th seed.
Wow.
Because they have
Arizona,
but they're guaranteed in because of the conference championship.
All right, but here's the thing. If Arizona State loses one of these 2 games or what have you like that, there is a possibility Tulane could be ranked higher than the winner, like Iowa State, Colorado, BYU, or
odds for the Big 12 right now. Let's go top 3. It's Arizona State, Iowa State, and then BYU.
So Colorado's out. That's how horrible that loss was.
Colorado is say a 4th favorite to win the Big 12.
Wow. They lost an opportunity to pair. I mean, and
all
Kansas,
they had to do was go into Kansas.
And Kansas's guy got like almost 300 yards rushing against them. They couldn't stop nothing, man, the other day. That was horrible.
And how about Deion saying you guys are believing your hype?
Yeah.
You're believing your darn hype.
Yeah.
And it showed, man. How is Kansas? Kansas is like what? They were like 4-6.
Yeah, in fact, Kansas has kind of been the giant killer. They beat Iowa State, like they've beaten all the top dogs, and everybody's all of a sudden like, well, where the hell was this team at? And that's a perfect example of a team that basically playing at the level of their competition. I freaking hate those teams because those are the type of teams that you never bet on them. Don't ever bet on them, honestly. Not the way you want it to go. Not the way you think you want it to go. So
man, I thought that about Kansas State. I thought Kansas State was a lot better, and they showed me their Kansas State.
Yeah.
But the Big 12 has been the least, and I'm impressed with. But the Big 10 is top heavy.
Yeah. It is. It is. I mean, you're going to get your Oregon, Ohio State matchup, and I was looking, I mean, take a look at it like this. If you look at the playoff rankings right now, the fact that Tennessee would have to go to Georgia in an 8-9 battle.
Well, see, that's what changed after I say we handle Vandy. I'm kind of curious what Georgia Tech does to Georgia But once they get the SEC championship game, Georgia could fall all the way out if Texas wins.
They could. So
Georgia. But see, here's the thing: Georgia's already beaten Texas. Georgia has already beaten Texas. Georgia has a.
You still got to look at their record though. After that,
That's true, but my thing is Georgia has a formula for beating Texas, and we don't have the formula for beating Georgia.
some teams match up better than others, man. I've always said that.
I feel if that game is in Knoxville, that's a different story.
Oh my God, I still want to see it. If that's a possibility, oh my God, Neyland Stadium in December.
I think
never been done.
if you get that game Neyland at night in December, Georgia does not walk out of Knoxville with a win.
No,
They don't. They don't. We play Georgia in Georgia. We don't beat them. We don't. The last time I can remember a Georgia team that went down soundly and beat, like the last time a Tennessee team went down to Georgia and beat them soundly, would have been the Eric Ainge against Stafford.
Yeah.
okay. I'll go Dobbs and Jennings after the Evan Berry return.
Yeah, before that. That's what I was gonna say. Before that, like,
yeah.
Didn't Compton beat him? Didn't they beat them like in 2009? I'm trying to remember. I thought they beat them in 2009, but maybe that was in Tennessee that game took place. But like nobody gave that Tennessee team a chance, and we beat them in 2009. Lane Kiffin was the coach at Tennessee. Lane Kiffin was the coach at Tennessee.
That was 09, my bad.
Yeah, so it was 09. But where was it at? Was it at Athens or was it? I'm trying to remember where the game took place. I think it might have been in Athens.
Odd number year. It was here.
It was here. Okay, so we beat him here. So, but that's probably the last time we beat him soundly. You know, like nobody thought.
Even number of years, we were at Georgia because we have Alabama and Florida here. Odd number of years, it flips. So Georgia's here, Alabama, Florida are away.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, different time of college football back then. Missed that time. All right, so we've got the college football playoff. Trooper, you mentioned the Big Ten being top heavy. I'm going to tell you this, man. If Tennessee matched up against Penn State or Indiana, I think we'd smash them. I really believe that.
Penn State's not that good.
They suck, man. They should have lost. I mean, Minnesota, if they could stop anybody, should have won that damn game the other day.
But when does Penn State show you what they're made of on the national stage?
Never.
It hasn't been since '94.
Yeah. You know what? I'll say this. Did they
in the Saquon years?
You know what? Not even there. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. I remember Florida State beat that Paul Posluszny team, didn't they? Back in the Orange Bowl in 2005, if I'm not mistaken, because it was Penn State against them. It was that Paterno. Penn State won that one. Okay. All right. But what I'd say that was
Mike Robinson the quarterback.
I think he was. Yeah, I think he was because it was Joe Pa versus Bobby. It was Joe Pa versus Bobby the last time they went up against each other, honestly.
Yeah, that was Penn State.
So my point is, that's probably the last marquee big that mattered bowl game, you know, that they've won in that mattered, you know.
Because even in the Saquon years, he was just great. He was a talent, but they were like, I don't remember Penn State ever in our lifetime watching Penn State. Would have been like early 90s of when they were like dominant. And that was like one time in my life where I saw them go undefeated with, you know, the Curry Collins, Kyle Brady, Kajana Carter dudes. Like that team was good. Bobby Ingram. That team was really good.
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
you know, Mike Archie, those guys were good. But when you look at it, you like, well, they were good for their time. Penn State hasn't done anything on the national stage in a long time.
No, they haven't. And every time, this is the year we beat Ohio State. They find a new way to lose that game, honestly. And here's the other thing, too. You know, Ohio State, I want to see how they do up against an SEC team, okay? I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but Hey, shout out to Jamie Farley. You met her. You met her too, pair. Remember that at
Oh,
Hooters? Yeah,
Jamie.
Tennessee would roll IU or PSU. Damn right they would. I like that. Shout out to you. Shout
Shout
out
out
to
to Jamie.
332 Studios. Love this show. Best sports show about high school, college, and pro. Damn right. We don't even get to pro because we got so much to talk about on the high school and college side.
It's
But
true. We
but
don't get to
but
talk about
but
pro.
seriously, you got some matchups this week. Ohio State, they'll probably roll Michigan. Now, I'll tell you this, man. If Ohio State loses to Michigan, Ryan Day better get a U-Haul and get the hell out of town because, I mean, like, how do you not beat that team this year? What's the excuse?
You know how? It's with their psyche. Like if Ryan Day doesn't get what Jamie said, I'm worried about Vandy, but it's not to the point. I just think our defense is too prepared for Diego Pavia.
Yeah.
Diego Pavia doesn't beat us because I think you put a linebacker on him. You have Pierce and Joseph's play containment. Have Lott just space the middle. You can interchange that with Lott and Thomas in the middle, and you're fine.
And yeah. And here's the other thing too. Their defense has shown they're susceptible against the run. This should be a big Dylan Sampson type game, honestly, in my opinion. I think it should. So yeah.
How about Dylan Sampson not getting the Doak Walker finalist?
Dude, some of them. Dude, Cam Ward didn't even get on the damn Maxwell Award. Cam Ward, who's been the best quarterback for Miami, they put Dylan Gabriel over Cam Ward. Are you kidding me?
He's not
No
done
disrespect
half
to
of
Dylan
what...
Gabriel, but without Cam Ward, Miami loses 5 games this year. That's a fact. Jesus. I mean, you got, I don't know, man. Some of these awards, it's like, it's whack, man. It really is. Shoot. Dylan Sampson should be as a finalist for the Doak Walker. No doubt. No doubt. Look at his numbers. Look at his touchdowns. So, shit. I mean, Tennessee never gets love for awards. Thank you, Jamie. Mobile quarterbacks give Tennessee issue. This is true.
That's true, Jamie.
Yep.
Very true. Shout out to Jamie, man.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie's out here watching the show, man.
Yeah.
Like, share, and subscribe. Rebels with a Cause. We're on every Wednesday at 9:30, just giving you a little bit of this college football regular season.
Can I give her? I'll give her a shout, man. She was in that press box. She was like sitting there, just praying, rooting West on, and she was right there to just comfort me and be like, "I'm sorry," and I was like, "It's okay." It wasn't okay, but it's okay, and she's awesome. So shout out to her and our guy Chris Smith, man, the stats guy for West High School. Shout out to him too. So yeah, for sure. So yeah. Future for Peyton Lewis.
Did Peyton Lewis leave?
I didn't know.
Did Peyton Lewis leave the university?
I'm not sure.
Expand on that.
Yeah, expand on that. Expand on that.
Expand
what
on that.
There?
This is what
it might be some breaking news.
I'm doing research.
Breaking news, Jamie. While we get breaking news, Jamie, on that, we need to find out about Peyton Lewis.
Can I give, while we're talking about Tennessee real quick, shout out to the basketball team, man. Kicking Baylor's ass the other night. That at least was fun to watch. As I was soaking down my blues of my Dos Equis at Twin Peaks, I enjoyed every minute of Tennessee kicking Baylor's ass the other night. I mean, man, I'm telling you, man, Rick Barnes, they reload, man. Losing Dalton Connect and what we lost to come out the way they've been playing, they're doing good, man. Honestly,
I'm saying that this team is better than last year's team, even after the loss of Connect.
Yeah, because you're going to have more guys. This could be like Alabama after, what's his name left for them. They were really just one player team, and there was kind of watching around.
Oh, Brandon Warren?
Yes, yeah. And so I feel like Alabama was better.
Was it Brandon Warren?
He was the third
Brandon
pick in the
Miller.
Miller, yeah. But I felt that Alabama team last year was very good. You're seeing them good again this year. You know what I mean, and so forth from that group and everything like that, in my opinion. So yeah, yeah. Actually, she says nope. Just thinking about how bright that future is when Peyton
Yes,
Lewis. Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
like
know,
Peyton Lewis a lot. I think
yeah,
Peyton Lewis, Deshaun Bishop,
yeah.
Cam Seldon. I really like what we got in the
Yeah.
backfield. I really
Yeah,
do.
no, honestly, how lucky are the
And
Lakers? JJ Redick had the steal of the draft, man. I mean, honestly, I mean, yeah,
how dumb are 16 teams? Like
including the Miami Heat.
Miami.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, this is what I want to know. This is what I want to know. If you're an NBA franchise and you're looking at all of the collegiate games and high school games of where guys are going to be projected at, what made you say we need Khalil Ware over Dalton Connect? Like
So
this,
bad.
the dude stretches the floor.
So bad.
Stretches the floor for the Lakers.
Yep. Yep.
He's
So bad.
like LeBron James. He's gonna play under LeBron. He's learning the NBA from one of the greatest to ever do it
Yep.
when he could have been learning from
Well,
Pat Riley. Like,
well, when I hear LeBron talk about Connect, it's like, did you not watch what he did at Tennessee?
right.
It just makes me wonder: do we get Bryce James?
You know what? I mean, let me tell you this. Who's he looking at right now? Because realistically, I mean, why not come to Tennessee? Honestly, you would make a big name for yourself at
Mhm.
Tennessee, honestly.
If
So,
Bryce James plays under Rick Barnes, he'd be SEC Player of the Year.
yeah. Hey, here's a hot take for you
How
guys.
how good is Chaz Lanier? Lanier
Yeah.
Oh
might be
God!
Yeah. Oh yeah.
he might be Conference Player of the Year.
Listen, here's a hot take for you guys. Next week in that ACC SEC challenge, that's not going to be a challenge. The SEC is going to roll the ACC next week. That's a
Oh,
fact. That is a
How bad
fact.
is Duke looking right
They
now?
suck, dude. They're terrible. They're
How
awful.
about the upset? How about the upset of the day? West Virginia over Gonzaga.
Yeah, yeah. Connecticut lost twice. Connecticut's already lost twice in back-to-back
Connecticut's lost
days.
twice. I think
Colorado, I mean,
Memphis took an L to Auburn. Auburn looks good.
Auburn,
Auburn
Auburn.
looks really
Let me
good.
tell you something. Auburn is going to throttle Duke. If you want to make money next week, Auburn is going to go into Cameron Indoor Stadium and make Duke say uncle. Put it down right now, honestly. Honestly. Yeah.
Auburn's got Duke next week.
Yep, in Cameron. In Cameron. Auburn will
Auburn looked
Auburn
good in
is
the
going to
Valley.
run Duke off their own home court next week.
North Carolina looks bad. It looks
Dude,
bad in the
they got
Valley.
bailed out. They were down by Dayton. I mean, they won, but damn, I mean, what the hell? Like,
And
I mean,
Dayton didn't really have any stars on that team
if they
either.
would have
It's
been
not like,
Dayton last year, Dayton would have won that game. So
oh yeah,
shit,
yeah,
yeah.
Dayton would have won it.
Hoppy
Right. But
Toppin and all them. So yeah.
I like what Memphis has got. I like what Penny's doing over there. They looked really good. They just didn't have enough. They didn't
Yeah.
have enough in the holster
Yeah.
against
And you know what? I don't even think Kansas is that good, man. Hunter
Auburn.
Dickinson is such a punk, by the way. He got ejected last night for kicking a Duke player. And it's like, dude,
Hmm.
it's like, how many years has that guy been in college basketball? He's like the guy from Miami that's played tight end for 100 years, honestly. Go the hell to the NBA. You suck so bad, dude.
Bruh,
You are
like
just
do
garbage.
something. You gotta do something different, man.
Yeah, man.
Like become a professional. At this
Yeah.
point, I mean,
Jeez.
at this point, it's semi-pro anyway.
It
Like
is.
you just taking up. Now you're just saying you a professional college player.
JB
I'm
said
nice.
NBA Rookie of the Year for Connect. Oh yeah, it's if he can just stay healthy, it's his. Honestly, I mean, we've mentioned Edie and Jared McCain being on the first team, but the stats aren't there to match up with Connect. So yeah,
Well, the thing is, Connect's gonna have more of the opportunity
and he's got
because
Showtime. Yeah, with the brand
and
too.
It becomes
and
the
he's got one of the greatest players of all time giving him the ball.
That's true. That's true.
I think he becomes the face of the NBA within the next 5 years.
Yeah. I'm not surprised that the Reddick LeBron thing is working out right now. They played against each other in high school, and they're about the same age. Kind of interesting. I'm wondering when that blows up. It's still early. I'm not saying it will, but I'm kind of curious because there's been certain coaches he's liked and others that see you later, alligator. So, so yeah. But going back to football real quick, I did want to just mention that this is kind of a fun week of football. Maybe the rankings aren't there to support the matchups per se, but I still like seeing Florida and Florida State play. I still like seeing South Carolina and
Texas
Clemson
A&M,
play.
Texas
Texas,
A&M,
Texas
Texas
A&M.
Texas
That
A&M.
hasn't been played in years until now.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee Vandy is still an in-state rivalry. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think
It's still
Kentucky and
Tennessee
Louisville.
Vandy.
Kentucky and Louisville are playing each other. Georgia and
South
Georgia Tech.
Carolina Clemson.
South Carolina Clemson. So it's going to be interesting to see those matchups. And here's the thing. A game that obviously I'm invested in Saturday is, am I going to be in Charlotte next Saturday night or not? Pretty much, because that's, if Miami beats Syracuse, I'm in Charlotte. If Syracuse beats Miami,
I think
I'm sitting at
Miami
home.
I think Miami breaks the doors off SMU if they play for this championship.
I hope so, man. God, Miami's defense is so bad.
I,
They are so terrible, two pair. I mean, the
and
offense
the
is
thing
great,
is,
but
the
yeah.
offense is great, but the defense isn't the.
They
I don't get it
suck.
though. It doesn't. It used to be like Miami's defense used to carry
Yes. It's
the
never been,
offense.
it hasn't been on the same page since 2005, I want to say, honestly, where they had a good offense and they had a good defense. Like, that's how
Yeah.
long it's been. It's been one or the other, Even when they did the turnover chain that year, the offense was pedestrian. It was the defense that would get that turnover chain, and then they would set up like a short field or whatever
What
like
about the
that.
Ja'Cory Harris years? Were
Offense
there?
was fantastic. Defense was horrendous. Offense was
Yeah.
outstanding. Defense couldn't stop a cold. That was the problem. Playing 10 yards off of a wide receiver. You can't do that. You got to play bump coverage sometimes. So, yeah, no, it's just been one or the other. Until they get back to both sides of the ball being great, that's
Mm.
going to be the thing. Here's my situation. I know Miami ain't good, but you know what I want as a fan? I just want to be in the playoff and be in that conversation,
Oh,
like,
I think they'll
because
be
you
in the
never want the
conversation.
season to end. I mean, like, look how we're talking about West, and it's like I get Tennessee and Miami in the playoff if they take care of business this week.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then it's
Right.
like,
Right.
okay, let's just see how far we go. I mean, I'm not expecting a
Mm.
national championship. Would be great to be in Atlanta January 20th, but I'm just saying that, I just want to be in the
I'd
conversation.
love to see that though, because what I'm saying, I grew up, some of my favorite players played for Miami. Like,
Mhm.
what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Ray Lewis, Warren Sapp, uh, what my man, um, Jamie German,
Mhm.
Santana Moss.
Those are the dudes in the
What I'm
90s,
saying?
baby. Those were the
Your Teal
dudes.
Green,
Yep.
like
Yeah.
Frank Gore, Willis McGahee, Kellen Winslow, like
Yeah.
even the old school Miami. Like, I love watching Miami football. Like,
Yeah.
I felt like there's a difference in like our growing up watching Miami, like in Florida State. Like, Florida State is so bad. It's hard to watch my guys.
I I I
Like,
I I just don't know what happened there. If we
yeah.
do a post wrap up of college football and you take that preseason 25 and match it to the final 25, there's a story in between those 13 weeks or 15 weeks, whatever it is, bowl games and all that.
Mhm.
But my point is, how did they get that so wrong, Two Pair? Because realistically, I know anything can happen. However, I want to say is that I think the Gators roll them. I mean, I could be wrong. That's why it's a rivalry game. But on paper, it looks like the Gators would beat them. I mean, Florida State at this point. So I can't remember the last time Florida State had 2 wins in an entire year. And then I'm going to go a step
Yeah.
further. North Carolina fires Mac Brown. Okay, hold on a second. Who are you going to get? You're a basketball school. He's
And
the
you fire
best
the
coach
winningest
that you've
coach
ever
ever.
had there. You were
You
like, look
don't
at the
fire him.
quarterbacks you guys had with him there. Honestly, you're not going to
You
get those dudes.
you let that dude walk. You Mac Brown, a Hall of Fame coach, a guy like Mac Brown, you let him walk. You let him retire there. You ain't getting no talent like that. you're getting quarterbacks wise. They've put in Drake May. They put in Sam Howell. They put in Mitch Trubisky.
Yep. Yep. I mean, can I just say this? Their season could be completely different if Brandon doesn't get hurt with the broken leg in the first game. You know, Mark Rick's nephew, and the Max Johnson. That's it. I think of his father, Max Johnson.
Brad Johnson. Brad
How
Johnson.
good would their season have been if Max Johnson and not a true freshman is your quarterback? You know what I
That's
mean?
true too.
And you're gonna fire the man after like the successful seasons he's had there the last couple of years? I mean,
The
get the
amount
hell
of
out
guys
of
he's put in
here,
the
dude.
NFL.
Yes, I'm not even a North Carolina fan. In fact, the guy is Miami never beat him. That's the sad part about it. But it's like, my God, you fired him? Who are you think you really are going to get there? That's what I would love to know. I don't see many coaches that just like, oh, I want to be North Carolina's football coach. No, 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 no. It's basketball is what runs that show in Chapel Hill.
North Carolina. Okay,
Larry Frank
in
would
our
tell you that
lifetime,
too. So yeah,
in our lifetime, how many North Carolina teams can you name that won 11 games?
1998, and that was it with Dre Bly.
That's it.
That's it. Or
Like
97, sorry. But that was like Mac Brown was that coach then. So, yeah. Yep. Yep. Because that's what got him the job to go to Texas a couple years later. That team. And Florida State beat the hell out of them. Thad Busby and all them, but they were undefeated and it was like supposed to be a big game in Chapel Hill and Florida State just showed why they still Florida State back then.
you know what
But
I'm
since
saying?
then,
Like
they've not had anything, man.
have
Anything.
not had anything since like Mac Brown was the you when you think of Mac Brown, you think of Texas in the national championship because he's the last coach to win one there.
Mhm.
But when it comes to North Carolina football, he's
Mhm.
the first name you're talking about.
Yeah, not even Butch Davis did that much while he was there for a couple years at North Carolina. You know, he brought
Butch
in some
Davis was
guys.
while they were in probation.
That's right. Butch Davis was. So yeah, yeah. John Bunting, he was another idiot. Carl Torbush. I mean, they've not had.
Torbush.
Wow. I mean, come on. So
Joke. What a joke.
yeah. And those were the coaches they had. I mean, and then who was the guy? Fedora, Larry Fedora. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't do better with Fedora, but they got rid of him. And when he had a couple of subpar recruiting classes, you bring Mac back, and now you're getting rid of Mac. So who the hell are you going to bring in? Honestly, so Hugh Freeze.
Man got
So
done dirty,
I mean,
man. Man got done
Bobby
dirty,
Petrino.
man. They did my boy Mac dirty.
Oh man, they did.
They did Mac dirty.
Yeah. You know what? You know. Can I tell you this? Whoever's committed to them right now in North Carolina, don't think maybe Josh Heupel might look that way because when North Carolina was down, Philip Fulmer benefited from a lot of that talent over there after Mac Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got a
I've
lot of
always been a hotbed for Tennessee. One of my close friends came out of North Carolina. Back during the former era.
Jamie asked, "You like Florida at 17 points versus FSU?" I think that they beat them by more than 17. I do.
Man, Florida State ain't got no pride no more.
I mean, I just don't think they care about that game.
They
Like
don't care.
no. I mean,
They
they're
don't
wanting the
care.
season done at this point. So Florida State's done.
It's so much talent that
Yep.
is gonna be transfer portal.
Yeah.
It ain't the same Florida State. Like they haven't recovered from going undefeated and getting left. It's been a mental. It is mentally they have mentally checked out. They
Yeah.
mentally checked out when they went all the way to Dublin and lost to Georgia Tech by getting it rushed down their throat.
It took the wind out of the sails, man. It just went over and over. Shane, let me ask you this. There was a thing I saw, and I don't even know if it was a fake thing because, you know, sometimes there's clickbait with sports media and all that. Are they really granting DJ Ugalulungale another year? Like DJU, is he getting another year for real at Florida State?
Ooh, let me look real quick.
I mean, honestly, I swear I thought I saw that he can take a medical red shirt because of when the injury happened and he can actually play one more year. I thought that this thing was done, but I was like, okay, so they want DJU one more time at Florida State, which I don't know. I mean, they fired their offense and defensive coordinator, so you're going to have to get somebody to you know, learn a new offense, and you know, it seems like their recruits are even jumping ship to Florida for goodness sakes. I saw a guy decommit from Florida State, a running back, and now he's committed to Florida after the big win over Ole Miss. So
Mhm.
another win for Napier. I mean, shoot.
Napier was on his
He was
deathbed.
done, man. He was buried.
He was
Miami
done.
and Tennessee did their job. Nobody else did the rest. I mean, they didn't. So
It
shoot.
was
A&M even did something too to them. I mean, shoot. You know what?
Miami did
Also,
their job.
Georgia was damn lucky that they weren't playing old Graham Mertz, by the way, and that DJ got hurt in that game too, Lagway. Because if one of them two guys is there at the end and not that third string boy, I wonder if Florida knocks off Georgia that day.
I'm not seeing anything about him having another year.
Okay, so that was probably clickbait or whatever. But I'm just saying this, man. Like, I just can't believe how bad Florida State got. Last year, we're talking about them going, undefeated. Obviously, Jordan Travis got hurt, unfortunately. But I'm just saying that you just don't go that bad to that like that. I mean,
You don't.
I mean, you basically flipped the record in not so many ways. I mean, you really did. So shoot, horrible. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Terrible way to go.
I mean, they only won one ACC game against Cal. So I'm like, wow.
Shameful.
Yeah. I mean, no pride. Well, let me ask you guys this. If you guys were to pick right now the 12 teams that get in, obviously there's going to be some more teams playing each other. You mentioned, Shane, Texas, Georgia. We also mentioned Oregon, Ohio State, the SMU potential Miami game. My question is this: how many SEC teams get in when I mean, we talked about Georgia possibly being knocked out of the whole thing if they lose to Texas next week. But can you really fault them for losing to Texas? I mean, it is hard to beat a team twice, but I would put Georgia in over Ole Miss or Alabama if they were able to kind of sneak back in. I know Alabama won the head-to-head, but look at Georgia's losses compared to Alabama's. That Oklahoma loss is a terrible loss. I mean,
It is.
Tennessee went into that stadium and did way better than 3 damn points. That's all I'm saying, guys.
Yeah, because I look at Georgia if they play Texas again, but Texas also has to play Texas A&M.
Yeah, and Texas could lose. That could really
That
throw
could give a lot.
Yeah. I
mean, so if Texas takes care of Georgia for round 2, being in Texas beats Texas A&M, I don't see a 3-loss SEC team making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Especially in the conference record. That leaves you Tennessee, Texas.
I do. Yeah, I do agree with her.
Texas team could stay in, but a 3-loss Georgia team would be gone.
Can I just say this though? I mean, because me and Coach Lamar Brown and even Scott Shavers were having this discussion. What would Indiana and Penn State's record be if they played in the SEC?
Oh man, not a.
They'd be down there with Auburn and.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. I mean, you're going to reward the Big Ten with 4 freaking teams because of the fact that maybe they didn't play each other. I mean, because listen, that is a top-heavy conference. And listen, I'll throw the ACC in there because there's even some talk out there that Clemson can backdoor their way in, even with like they're talking about it like this. If like Miami wins against Syracuse but loses by like 1 point to SMU, you could potentially have all 3 of them in there just because of Miami's name. And I'm just saying, I'm just throwing scenarios out there. That doesn't mean it should happen. I'm just telling you what the talk was. But again, the ACC is just like the Big Ten. It's very top heavy. The rest of it, it's not there. Look at the SEC from top to bottom. It's a bloodbath, and it's only continued to be a bloodbath, honestly. I mean, the fact that Tennessee takes care of business Saturday, which I think they will. A lot of us predicted 10-2, but we didn't think the 2 would be who they were. We thought one of them could be, but never would I have thought Arkansas. I just wouldn't have. But shit happens. Shit happens. So
Arkansas though. Like the Arkansas loss is just bad.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I'm not a Georgia fan, but I can't disagree with Jamie just wrote there. A 3-loss Georgia team deserves more love than most 2-loss teams. I will say Georgia, but I won't say. But you know what? I can't say that about Alabama. Let Alabama beat freaking Auburn on Saturday or whatever like that.
How
They don't
thankful
deserve to
are
go.
you for Auburn beating Texas A&M?
Oh man, yeah.
How big was that?
That was huge. That was huge. I mean, realistically, it was chaos in the SEC this past weekend. I mean, we just talked about Ole Miss, Florida. We talked about the Oklahoma, Alabama game, but we didn't even mention A&M against Auburn. That was
Auburn.
a hell of a game.
Didn't even
Honest.
mention it.
No, no,
That was an overtime thriller.
it was. It was. So, there's even talk of South Carolina beats Clemson. You might see them maybe sneak their way in. I mean, I don't know.
But
Exactly.
how though?
They're 14th. They're ranked 14th. If there's enough losses that happen, I mean, maybe they get in. I don't know.
It's some crazy scenarios.
I'm not saying
that
they
gotta
deserve
happen.
it. I'm just saying that here's the thing. I think there should be 3 SEC teams in there. Just a couple weeks ago, guys, we were talking maybe 5. I mean, that's how
Yeah.
crazy it's gotten the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, Tennessee could not have scripted a better Saturday than last week. Oh, amen. Oh, amen. And then
Man,
and
you're
here it
right.
was.
Right.
Like the enemy of my enemy, the art of war. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And the Gators helped you against the biggest scoundrel in Tennessee history in Lane Kiffin. It couldn't have been scripted any better than that.
That's
Bama
crazy. Like
getting
how,
their ass
yeah.
handed to them the way they did. And I'm going to tell you this, man. The Borg after the game, how dare all the best 3-loss teams? Shut the hell up, man! You
Yeah.
look
What the hell?
completely
Yeah.
unprepared. I mean, everybody was putting the rose on Oklahoma's grave. Come on, that they weren't going to make a bowl game for the first time in
Brent
years.
Venables.
Yes.
Coach that was about to be.
Yes. He got another life. I mean, I'm just saying.
Life.
I mean, here's one. Here's one right now. LSU. I'm not saying. I mean, what the hell are they going to do with Brian Kelly at this point? That is a major contract.
It ain't looking good.
That is a major contract right there.
He's up there getting into spats with the players on the sideline, telling them they're uncoachable.
He's so fake. He coming up with a fake Cajun accent. That, like I said, we talked about it on the show. The biggest mistake they ever made was getting rid of Ed Orgeron. They were so stupid.
It's the curse of Ed Orgeron.
It is, and they deserve it. They deserve it. Brought best team, the best,
best statistical season. Did they not go undefeated?
They went.
You have really
Oh yeah, they did.
Probably one of the greatest college quarterbacks ever.
Yeah. As a matter of fact,
ever. Can you get rid of him?
Their closest game that entire season was Auburn, and they won by like a field goal or something like that. Nobody touched them afterwards. Like they got under their groove or whatever. So they smoked everybody. After that.
Glimpses in the year before that Burrow was there.
Yeah, Clemson.
You saw glimpses.
Yeah, because that Clemson team rocked Alabama there in San Francisco in that national championship game out there.
Mm-hmm.
That was Sunshine and ETN's older brother and that big defensive line they had that was so good that all went to the NFL. Wilkins and them, yeah. Yep.
Christian Wilkins.
But Tua had no idea Saban, that's the one game I've ever seen Saban get completely outclassed in a game by Dabo in that group. They looked completely unprepared. So, yeah. Supposed to be the game of the century, and Clemson rocked them. So,
yeah. They sure did.
They did.
Yeah, it's
yeah. But like I said, I just looking at this thing, man, I'm like, man, I think the playoffs going to be an exciting thing. Tennessee, just please take care of business Saturday so you're in.
Please.
That's all. Win and you're in. You don't even have to worry about the damn SEC title game. So shoot.
Yeah, you don't even have to worry about the title game. And you kind of want to win the SEC, but it just you ain't getting a chance to play for it, and you lost the game to We lost. If we beat Arkansas, we're not having this conversation. We
That's
see
true.
Georgia again in the SEC in
Uh-huh.
Atlanta. Basically your backyard
Yep.
because it's not a neutral. It's not a neutral game.
But you want to know something too, Pear? Can I say this to be fair, man? And
Mm-hmm.
we've talked about this with Tennessee in every sport. It'd be Volanta. I don't care that Athens is right there. Maybe those Georgia fans are like, we've been to the SEC championship game. Let's save our money for, we think we're going to go further. Tennessee fans would die for their first SEC berth since 2007. When we played LSU and Eric Ainge was that quarterback. It would be Volanta down there. They would gobble up all them SEC tickets, and it might be that umph that helps Tennessee win that game with
I
all
feel
those
like
fans there. If
I
they
feel
if they had
like
gotten
them
there,
winning
if
it,
they
if
got
they got to the SEC championship because baseball was kind of and when you thought of who was closer to winning the national title out of the sports programs, I would have said baseball first, just because the heat with Vitello, the way they, you know what I'm saying, you kind of saw it. They got to the College World Series, they lost, and then they were able to win, and then they just go, they almost sweep the College World Series.
with the exception of the one stinker against A&M, I mean everything else was good. So yeah.
Yeah, everything else was good. They had
The
one
comeback, the
bad
huge
game.
comeback against Florida State was the monumental
Incredible.
thing.
It's
Yes.
one of the
So yeah.
greatest games I've ever seen. Christian Moore goes for the cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like he was so locked in, he didn't even know he hit for the cycle. Man, it was
True.
just a. I feel like that pushed that's pushed this program, and then in football, they go into Nashville, handle business. It feels good to say, "Dang, you're a 10-2 ball club." Like, it's hard to do in the
That is hard
SEC.
to do. That is hard to do. I mean, realistically, I'm proud of this Tennessee team. They just need to, again, finish their story, take care of business on Saturday. One more thing I was going to comment. Man, did ESPN screw us good with that noon start because it's really an 11 o'clock game. You know that? Think about that too. That's that. There's just something about a noon game in the Central Time Zone, and you're an Eastern team. I don't like it. It
I
sucks.
think the other issue on that is we've played so many late games this year.
They had to get us on the yeah. So yeah, I get it. I get it. So
But I'm gonna say this:
I'm worried how we come
we
out.
do play well in Nashville.
yeah. Well, let me tell you something. Games sold out, but traditionally that's orange. That's Nashville or Knoxville West, like you've called it. So no pun intended. Or
Neil
Neyland
West,
It
West.
is.
Neyland West. Yeah, it is. So yeah.
There's way more Knoxville fans that will travel to Nashville.
Hmm.
there's way more Tennessee fans across the state than there are Vandy fans. You're not,
Yeah.
I went to
Yeah,
I went to a concert.
Vandy's got a select few Nashville people. We've got the state of Tennessee. Nobody wants Vanderbilt fans don't even want Vanderbilt fans to win this game.
And that's something. Hey,
Vanderbilt fans don't even want to win this game.
guys, you want to weigh in on this one from the chat box that I've loved that it's been hopping tonight because of Jamie. So is Alabama's mystical run over? I think it is. I think that he's out of his league, man. I'm wanting to see how long that leash lasts, to be
They
honest.
are brought back to reality.
Yeah. I mean, the
It will.
fact, yeah.
They've been brought back to like you're not gonna. It's a new era.
Hmm.
It's not that same. It's not the era to where Alabama can get the most players.
Yeah.
You're not
Like
you
that.
can't replace Saban. Like there is no replacing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And that coaching staff, I mean, like that's what was good about him too. His assistants are now all major college coaches at
Yeah, Kirby
respective
Smart's the head
programs.
coach at Georgia.
Cristobal's at Miami. Lane Kiffin is at, Sarkeesian's
At
at
Ole Miss.
Texas. I mean, that's crazy that all those
Yeah,
guys were on
like
one staff. I mean, Jesus
all those
criminy.
guys are on one staff.
Yep. Yep. I mean, so. All right. How
Now
about
you've
this one?
got. Mhm.
Oh, what about this one? Has Tennessee progressed from week 1 to now? It's a good one. I like that.
I think they've been able to push the ball down the field, but I think they were the goal was to be able to push the ball down the field more because we had a lot of times where Joe Milton last year was overthrowing the ball or receivers weren't catching the ball. And then you're kind of seeing a little bit of that with Nico, but he's thrown some darts
What
lately.
Nico's got the pro potential. He will be good, but I think we've shown what our weakness is, and I think it is at the quarterback and receiver position because their timing is just not there. Instead of overthrown passes, you have late passes now, where receivers have to adjust their route or adjust their catch, and the balls are behind him because he's throwing late. He's not seeing that window when he needs to. He's seeing it against lesser competition, but you're not seeing it with the high-end SEC competition.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Like
agree with that.
The drive against Georgia, where they're not putting up any points. That entire second half, they weren't able to get anything going to where they could score. There were a lot of times of that offensive line getting the holding calls, the false starts, the movement. It
We've had
just was
all year. That left side of the O line.
their worst games that they've played were on the road, the Arkansas game and the Georgia game,
Can I
and
throw
you
this
just
out there? I'm going to
mm-hmm,
throw this out there real quick for you. I agree with you guys on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, with who they've lost injury wise, they are fantastic. They have kept you in games and were just damn exhausted because the offense failed you and, let you down. They had nothing left in the tank. They were out there most of the second half. That's what happened there. So, if
mm-hmm,
anything, progressively, the defense, with who they've lost to season ending injuries and things like that, I'm we're grateful that we have the defense is what I'm getting at more than anything at this point.
yeah.
Yeah. Because they helped you when your offense sputtered against Florida, against Bama, against Kentucky, and some could even say Mississippi State. So
And Dylan Sampson has carried this team. He has carried this team offensively.
And the fact is,
Dylan
the defense even held Arkansas to what was it, 16 points? I'm just trying to, so yeah. I mean, I'm just, and we still could have won that game.
19,
19.
19.
But still,
Yeah.
I mean, when you hold a team under 20, that is really damn good defense. And in this day and age of football, I believe so. Look at this chat box. I love this, man.
Chat
Stephen
box
Johnson,
hopping.
Vols will be even better next year, plus a good recruiting class coming in. Let's talk about that real quick, guys. Recruiting next Wednesday. We'll have something fun to talk about next week.
I still miss the National Sign Day.
Yes, February. Yeah.
I would take that day off. I would go down to Dead End Barbecue, where boy Swain would do his show from there back when he still had his own radio show. And like you talk to Tennessee fans all day.
Oh,
They had breakfast and everything. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the good old days.
I like what Jamie wrote there. Did they find an O-line? Oof, those are fighting words right there. So, I mean, it's not a lie. It's not. I mean,
No, it's not.
The O-line's always been our Achilles, but hey, we run like crazy though.
Yeah, that's the thing. I find that funny. They're a better run blocking offensive line than they are a pass blocking offensive line. When you
Never
can do
understood
both,
that.
please, Jesus. So I like what
Never
Stephen
understood it.
Johnson wrote here. Hopefully David Sanders doesn't flip to Ohio State, though. I hope not either, but can I tell you this, Stephen? Ohio State better watch out that they don't have guys flip them because Miami's trying to flip two guys from them in Alford, that big linebacker, and then they have another defensive tackle that Miami's trying to flip from them. So Ohio State's got to be worried about keeping the guys they've got committed rather than flipping people with all that NIL money. That's that. So I think David Sanders is going to stay at Tennessee if I was to predict. So could be wrong. Could be wrong. So yeah. Yeah. Guys, great show. We're at 2 hours. We are 8 minutes away from Thanksgiving, but it's always fun talking sports. And guys, enjoy the football season. It's almost coming to a wrap. I hate that. Basketball though, I'm excited about. But truth be told, I can't believe we're already at the last regular season of college football, because next week is the conference championships.
Championship week, man.
Yeah, championship week. So yeah, but great show, man. And shout out to everybody that was in the chat box, Steven, Jamie, 332 Studios. Shout out to all of our fans and our subscribers. Hit that like, please button. That really
Yeah,
helps
please
things.
do, man.
And share the show. Tell everybody about us. And we are looking forward to 1 year here coming up and so forth.
This was episode 51.
Episode 51. So yes, and next Wednesday we'll have basketball. We'll talk recruiting. We'll talk about the college football playoff. It'll be another heavy show. I said that November was going to be a crazy one, and actually will now be in December technically. So yeah,
we will be, man. We're moving quite along. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
It really snuck up on me, man. It's really Thanksgiving is tomorrow.
Yep, for sure. I mean, it really is something. And and then here we'll have Christmas. That Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Santa waves to everybody, and you got 5 weeks till Christmas or whatever. Goodness gracious. So
yeah, so everybody look. After tomorrow, it's got to be a full day. Let's get past tomorrow. Also, all your Thanksgivings, do not serve nobody none of that cold food. Have some Bunsen burners. Have something going on, and no more potluck Thanksgivings. With all that,
they
Big Mama house. They stink.
They stink.
Cold. We don't want no cold food at no Thanksgiving. And if you make runny macaroni and cheese, it ain't baked. So happy early birthday to Corey Davidson.
Yeah.
Saturday night
at Token. Yeah.
Happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday, Corey Davison. I'll be there.
I'm going to try to be there. I got to go
Corey Davison.
I got a picture for you two, pair, real quick, because you mentioned baked macaroni and cheese. It was the hit today at my potluck at my office. I don't know if you guys can see this bad boy. It might be hard because of the.
Oh, look at that!
That is some baked macaroni and cheese.
That's acceptable.
Thank you. I make it with a lot of love, man. I know how to make fat boy mac and cheese. So
you said baked, not runny.
No.
See, I did smoked mac and cheese last year.
Oh, there you
go.
You need to go to his Facebook page and see the damn spread he had last year. I was impressed with that. So yeah, for sure.
All me.
Yeah, it was awesome. So
okay.
yeah, no, I can cook.
Guys,
we'll feed you guys.
No runny ass macaroni and cheese.
Keep the food hot. No cold.
You have not submitted 5 references to make macaroni and cheese. Do not bring it to the family function.
That's right. That's exactly right.
There needs to be
I will make a mac and cheese for us or something, and I will let you taste it, honestly. And you just be honest with me. You will not hurt my feelings. But today, everybody was like, James, that was a cut above than what you normally did. And I don't know what I did different, but I'm going to keep doing it that same way. So there we go. So
yeah, I'm proud of you, James. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Hey, white Spanish fat boy knows how to cook. Trust me. And I'm Italian, so there we go. Yeah. So.
White Spanish Italian.
Yeah, white Spanish Italian. I'm a mutt, so there we go. No pedigree here. So yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, guys, great show. Two-pair, close us out like you always do, brother. So yeah.
Oh man. Look. Hey, it's Rebels with a Cause. Do not serve anybody runny macaroni and cheese for Thanksgiving. That stuffing does not need to be cold. I don't know who told y'all that the Hawaiian rolls ain't hot. That is stop. Rebels with a Cause. Love, peace, chicken grease. Happy Thanksgiving. Do not get up.
That's right. Oh, real quick before we go, West won that game. Kiss my ass, ref. Love you guys. Go Rebels.
Happy birthday, Corey.
Happy